From the slums of the Bronx, New York, this is that show that is not afraid to ask questions. The show that is not afraid to share its opinions. This show is for the people, by the people. Even the quote-unquote oppressed people. Let's get it. Welcome to the Miranda Project. Welcome to the Miranda Project. I'm your host, Manny. Let's get this show started. Today's show titled Propaganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I just, I don't even know if it's like that I'm at loss for words or I think we all are kind of like, I'm like shaking our heads, like not even scratching our heads, right? We're kind of like all scratching our heads after the Tucker Carlson expose on the videos, the hours of videos from the January 6th incident. Now, we here at the project, we love disclaimers, so we're going to give you our disclaimer. We do not condone breaking and entering, rioting, trespassing, any crime. We do not condone any type of crime. So as we talk about, what transpired on January 6th, we're not going to go and say, oh, well, we agreed with what these people went and did. No. That's not what we're doing here. That's not the premise of the show. The premise of the show is the propaganda. And by propaganda, it reminds me of, being a student of history. And I remember how, you used to, even back then, you used to have the American government give people the propaganda of, the Germans and how they treated people and to entice people to enlist in the military so that they can go out there and fight the evil Germans. But at the same time, they would put propaganda from the Germans about the United States and how we were evil and what we were doing out here in the West. So you would see these propagandas, you would see these little stills of propaganda, whether it was in silent films or in, black and white films, to the point where even color films. So you would have these people put out these propaganda, these things to entice you to have you do what they wanted you to do. Right? We're that easily controlled. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We are that easily controlled. So you think about what transpired on January 6th. You think about the fact that even I sat here in awe, after President Trump, well, not even after, like as he was giving his speech, people started making their way over there. And then all hell broke loose. Now, again, conspiracy theories and, these evil actors, I guess they would call them, or actors that, people that put themselves in the mix and incited this riot. Those are rumors that are flying, that still kind of exist. And, they talk about Epps and Ray Epps, and who is he and how was he involved? Was he FBI? Was he part of riling people up and all of that? I mean, regardless of all of that, I'm not even going to get into all of that. I mention it, but I'm not going to get into it. The only reason I mention it is because there are these conspiracy theories, these things that are kind of like flying around that people are talking about. And then it makes you think, whether these things are not, I mean, they're true or not, because now you're looking at these videos and you're like, you're scratching your head. Now, again, I repeated every show. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch CNN, especially CNN. I don't watch those shows, those channels. I hound or, go through the internet and I find, and I do comparisons and I start, doing my own research on things. And, which is one of the things that we've spoken about here on the show. The fact that you need to go out and do your own research for these reasons. Because, you look at the fact of what transpired or what we're seeing or what has come out to light, and you think to yourself, man, are we that easily controlled? Are we that? I mean, you have to think about it. There's people to this day that probably refuse to watch any segment from Tucker Carlson's show on these tapes because they believe that January 6th was an insurrection. No, let's clear that up. There was no insurrection. That was if it was an insurrection, it was the weakest insurrection in the history of the world. Because again, if you want to see true insurrections, you want to go and find out what true insurrections are, you can find it in history and you can see the insurrections that took place, how governments were taken over by people, by the military, even though that's a coup, but that was not an insurrection. So let's clear that up. Was it a riot? Yes. Did people break the law? Yes. Did people trespass? Yes. Did people commit B&E? Yes. Do they deserve the full extent of the law? Yes. Do they deserve to be treated like criminals of war? No. Not at all. Not at all. To the things that, to the extreme that you have these people being punished in this country, it's just ridiculous. And then you see some of these videos that have surfaced, not even surfaced, that were given to Tucker Carlson by Kevin McCarthy, the House, the leader of the House, the majority leader of the House. It's like I couldn't get it out. It's like I'm stuck. It was like blah, 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 blah. Given to Tucker Carlson by Kevin McCarthy, the majority leader of the House. So now he goes through all this, and it's not like he picks and chooses these videos and these clips and stuff like that. He picks them, and then he vets them with Capitol Police. Again, now you have to realize Kevin McCarthy, leader of the House, is in charge of the Capitol Police, just like Nancy Pelosi, who was the leader of the House then, was in charge of the Capitol Police. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So now Tucker Carlson goes and he vets this, and he makes sure that these videos are not, fake, that they're, he does the job of a journalist. He does what a journalist is supposed to do. You get information from someone as a journalist, and you have to make sure that this is accurate information, that it didn't just come from Joe Blow, and that Joe Blow told you that X, Y, and Z, and you're going to run with it. Top story, breaking news, X, Y, and Z happened. How do you know? Oh, I have an informant. Did you vet the informant? I trust him. How do you trust him? Tucker Carlson and his program, the people that work at that program, vetted these videos. And we see a complete different picture of what was painted to us, the viewing public. Not only by the January 6th committee, which were a bunch of liars and it was a kangaroo court, but by our media, our own media. Yeah, our own media. No, the media that informs us what they want us to know. That's our media. It's not our media. They are letting us know what the powers that be want us to know. So it's their media, not ours. You want to get information, you have to go out there and get it on your own because they're not giving it to you. So you see these videos. One of the things that like really stood out to me was the QAnon shaman, whatever. Dude, they made him out to be this vile, weapon-toting guy that made his way into the Capitol building, and he probably threatened Capitol Police, and what's it called? And he probably injured a few of them. He hit them with the thing that he was carrying, or with the flagpole that he was carrying, yelled at them, expletives, all of this other stuff. Made his way to the Capitol building, yelled and screamed the way that he did, and you see him in videos screaming at the top of his lungs like a crazy behemoth or some kind of Neanderthal, because this is the picture that they wanted to paint of conservatives, people that want to keep certain things the way that they are. They want to paint conservatives as Neanderthals. So I believe, TMP conspiracy theory, this guy was a paid actor. This guy, the QAnon shaman, was someone who was paid to go in there and act like a Neanderthal. So they can show the world, hey, look at what conservatives look like. They look like a bunch of savages, a bunch of Neanderthals. They want to take us back to the Stone Age. Again, TMP conspiracy theory. You can run with it if you want to. Me, I think that's what ended up happening. Let's paint these conservatives in this light because they're a bunch of Neanderthals that know no better. Look at this guy. Might as well just have him, looking like Tarzan up there, banging his chest, right? It's kind of the picture that they painted for us. Because when I saw him the first time, as he walked into the chamber and I saw him, that's the first thing that came to mind. This dude looks like some kind of, what's it called? Back to the Stone Age, Neanderthal, like what is he trying to portray? So in my mind, I feel that he was a paid actor made to make conservatives look like a bunch of savages. So, and what for me, as I watch these videos, thanks to the internet, Twitter, and so on and so forth, as I watch these videos and I see a much different picture of the QAnon shaman and how he made his way into the chamber at the Capitol building. I see him being escorted by Capitol Police. Like if he was getting a tour of the building. It was like I paid my donation to the U.S. government or the price of admission, and now my tour guides are basically taking me around and showing me, well, yeah, this is where this law was probably, discussed, and these are the offices of the, of the representatives, and over here you have this, and that's what it looked like. They even tried to open a few doors for the guy, and the doors were locked, and they couldn't open the doors, so they went elsewhere. Then they finally made their way into the chamber. And like I said, the rest is history. You guys know. I don't even have to go into it. I already said it. Gave my 2 cents on that regard. Dude looked like, again, a Neanderthal back to the Stone Age, depiction of a QAnon shaman that was bringing, conservatives back with him to the Stone Age. So, everyone else that is Not a conservative, that's a progressive can say, "Oh man, look at that guy. Ah man, I can't look like that. I'm glad I don't look like that. I look good. I'm with my $1,000 shirt." I'm joking. But again, to me, this is the picture that was trying to be portrayed. Again, me. I'm not giving you I'm giving you my opinion, but I'm not hoping or saying that you adopt my opinion. Okay? If you want to, that's up to you. But I'm giving you my opinion. My little conspiracy theory. And as you see these people completely going in and ransacking and doing and destroying, destroying and taking things and taking pictures and I mean, it just continues to be more evident that these people were allowed to come into the building. It continues to be more evident that this was staged. This was staged to make a Trump supporter look like some savage. And I continue to say it, like some kind of a savage. Some crazed maniac that broke into one of the most, prestigious buildings in Washington. I mean, obviously they couldn't break into the White House, even though you had people that tried to do that not too long ago. But they don't report about that when they had to take President Trump into the bunker because, you had people that were trying to, make their way into the White House. They were trying to do an insurrection. No. Those people actually had weapons. I mean, no, but it just seems so much more violent. But I digress. Because I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to sit here and compare apples to oranges, oranges to pears, and so on and so forth. But the whole thing here, the whole premise of this whole thing is that you're believing all of this. They want you to believe this. They paint this picture. The January 6th, the J6 committee sat there for hours on different programs, on different time slots. The viewership wasn't great, but telling you that this is what took place and that President Trump incited all of this. And the crazy thing about it is, again, here comes the propaganda into this. The whole aspect of this is President Trump was taken off of Twitter right after or right before he said, respect our law and order, respect the Capitol Police, leave the Capitol building alone, something like that. So those words, I don't remember exactly the words that he said, but those were muted. Nobody saw them. It was, silence from President Trump. So they thought everybody was like, oh, yes, this guy incited this. And he's, he's a ringleader of all of this per the J6 committee and all of this. And then as soon as, Elon Musk opens up Twitter and you start seeing the Twitter files and you start seeing the fact that Trump called for peace. He told his supporters that were there to hear him speak at the Stop the Steal rally to leave in peace and to respect the law enforcement, law and order, to respect law and order. Oh, no. But again, the propaganda is that they controlled that. They took that away. They reached out to someone at Twitter and said, okay, you need to shut him down. You need to make this disappear. You need to make this go away because we need to paint a picture for the American people that this guy is not for them. This guy is totally against them. This guy is a stooge of Russia. Right? So we need to make sure that these people believe us. Right? That's propaganda. The true definition of it. So as you see, one of the other things, as a matter of fact, like, just One of the other things that caught my attention, rather, kind of like I'm jumping around, but and I do apologize. But one of the other things that caught my attention about that the set of videos that Mr. Carlson released was the whole Senator Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, how they laughed at him and called him a coward, even though he said that he was part of the riling up of these people and what's it called? And he's, when they're storming the Capitol, he's running away like a coward. And they got him on video running away. Okay, that's true. There's no denying what the eye saw. There's no denying. There's physical proof that Senator Hawley, was running when these people were storming the Capitol. So there's undeniable proof of that. But what these people, the Democrats, the people that want you, because I'm not gonna just generalize Democrats. I'm just gonna say the people that want you to believe that the senator ran away as a coward, edited this video so that he looks just that way. So people can look at him and say, this guy's a coward, and make fun of him, make fun of a sitting senator, because you see this video of him running. And they actually laugh. A group of Democrats in the J6 committee, as they show the video, and say, he incited these people. He helped incite these people. He's running away like a coward. In the video, you see it. This other senator that was in the committee, in the committee, said exactly that. You see the video. They start laughing. Now, what Tucker Carlson does is that he unedits the video. And by unediting, he actually gives you a few frames before you see Josh Hawley or Senator Hawley running in that hallway or out of that hallway. You see a group of senators or lawmakers running before him, led out by Capitol Police. They were being led out by Capitol Police. And here is Senator Hawley, last one to come, running behind. The last one, but he was a coward. Those are probably the safety protocols in an instance just like January 6th. Again, I am not saying that what took place was right. I am not saying that, I'm not defending anybody. They committed breaking and entering. They committed trespass. But again, certain things took place to make this happen. There were things that allowed this to happen so that these people can look a certain way to the American public. There's your propaganda. You're going to believe what we tell you. They sat there, the J6 committee sat there and lied to us and told us all of this information. Meanwhile, you see these videos that are now surfacing. They're losing their mind, especially Chuck Schumer from New York. My boy Chuck Schumer, I didn't vote for him, but, my boy Chuck Schumer. He lost his mind yesterday on the Senate floor. No, that Tucker Carlson, Rupert Murdoch, you need to pull him. You need to tell him to stop doing this. He's lying to his audience. He's lying to the American people. He's undermining democracy. He's undermining American democracy. How? And here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. He's undermining American democracy. Rupert Murdoch, make him stop. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me repeat that, see if you catch it. He's undermining American democracy. Rupert Murdoch, make him stop. Now, if you haven't caught it by yet, Tucker Carlson is a journalist. And if I remember correctly, a journalist is protected by which? What is he protected by? Doesn't he have a right? Freedom of speech? Isn't he protected by that? I mean, isn't that the cry of the journalist? The cry of the journalist is the freedom of speech and the right to disseminate information to the American people. But no. Chuck Schumer doesn't want anything to do with that. Nothing. Get rid of it. Stop it, Rupert Murdoch. I'm telling you, stop him. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Why is he losing their mind? Why are they losing their mind? It makes you think. It makes you think. Why are these people losing their minds over the truth coming out? Because, I mean, we've been under the hand of their propaganda since, let me, I'm not even going to say 2020 or before 2019. Way before that. Obviously, way before that. It was funny because yesterday I was taking a class and we were talking about the Freemasons. And there's a lot of Freemason history here in the United States. Let's just put it that way. But it just, when President Trump came down the golden escalator and said that he's going to drain the swamp, and when he was elected, and he started letting people know what was going on in Hollywood, I was going to say, excuse me, in Washington, they lost their minds. This is why he became the most hated man in America, in my opinion. Because the propaganda stopped. The American people started to realize what was going on. Mind you, it was via Twitter because President Trump, his Twitter account, man, and he ousted you, but he would tell you what it was. What was going on? We turned a blind eye. We believed what they told us to believe. You got on, turned on your television, you put on CNN, and whatever anchor it was, and he or she would tell you, this is what is, that is what is, this is what is, that is what is. You would take it to the bank. You would take it to the bank because they're more educated than I am. They know better than I do. They're they're there. They're getting the information. They're just relaying it to me so that I know what's going on. We're taking it to the bank. We're not checking to see if it's real, but we're taking it to the bank. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Now you start thinking like, oh my God, like, oh man, that just, it puts a really nasty taste in your mouth, in your throat. But come on, ladies and gentlemen, this has been going on for years. Years and years. This is not just now. It's just that with the advent of technology, the fact that technology has grown leaps and bounds, the fact that, the news or the nightly news is not what it used to be. I remember I have one of my favorite artists named is Andy Mineo. He's a Christian rapper. And in one of his songs, he talks about the fact that the news or newspapers by the time they come out, that news is old to them. And he's talking about the younger crowd. Because now you get news in an instant. Something happens, somebody tweets about it, you got that news. It's there. It's in your feed. You're reading it. Versus waiting for the nightly edition. Waiting for Tom Brokaw. I'm sorry. I do not mean to kill your name. Waiting for Channel 11, 2, 7, 4, 5, NBC, CBS, yeah. I'm not going to go through all of them. You know what I mean. For those newscasters to come on and tell you what's going on so that you can take their information, grab it, absorb it, and put it in the bank and say, well, Katie Couric told me this is what's going on, so I'm going to believe Katie Couric and I'm going to take it to the bank. It's been going on and on and on and on. But with the advent of technology and how technology has changed the world of information, now you're beginning to see people awaking up. They're not believing the same nonsense. So these people have to control the news cycle. They have to control how this stuff is. Why do you think Trump was taken off of Twitter then? Why was his tweets taken down? He can't look like the good guy. You get it? Listen, and I'm not, oh yeah, this is defending a Trump guy. Don't get me wrong. I guess I voted for him. I like where he stands on certain issues and I don't like where he stands on other issues. I mean, but I voted for him. I was more successful under Trump than I am under Biden. Let's just put it that way. I got less money in my pocket now than I had a few years ago. So it affects my bottom line. So who do you think I like? Now, that's besides the point. This propaganda that's been hidden, that they've been putting out to us, these things that they keep feeding us and they keep telling you and they keep telling you. Just think about it. Just come on, just think about it. Not too long ago, we were at their whim. All of us were at their whim when it came to Corona. All of us. We were all stuck to the TVs. We were all stuck to the radio. We were all watching to see what to do next, how to deal with this virus, this pandemic. We were listening to Anthony Fauci, for crying out loud. Dude got it all wrong with AIDS, but hey, now he's an expert. I'm just saying, I'm just, putting it out there because I'm not lying about it. It's the truth. Do the research. Anthony Fauci was interviewed about AIDS, and he was one of the doctors, virologists, that said that you can contract AIDS by sitting at a toilet seat, by eating someone who has AIDS, if you digest their food, stupid stuff like that. This is what Anthony Fauci said. You could do the research. I know that I'm probably over-exaggerating, but find out. Go look it up. Go find out. But this is the guy that we were tuned into. Because we didn't know what was going on with this pandemic, with this virus, with this thing. We didn't know. So we were scared, obviously. So we were going to the experts. And the experts were giving us nothing but propaganda. Think about it. Think about it. Because now it comes out that the virus, the coronavirus, was not made by a bat and a pangolin making out and procreating and making the virus. I know I'm exaggerating. But it was man-made. It was engineered in a lab. The CDC, our CDC director, said so much yesterday. How is it that this virus had a protein, a spike protein that is found in humans, making it easy for this protein to attach itself to humans, but had no bat protein, DNA, whatever. How is that possible? Don't get me wrong. I understand. I'm not a virologist. I love biology, but it wasn't like my favorite subject in school. My favorite subject obviously is history, but it just doesn't. How is it that you don't have bat DNA in this virus, but you have human DNA allowing this virus to attach itself to human beings the way it did, the way it killed so many people, because they were playing, scientists in this lab in Wuhan, and they were playing on how to make this virus stronger than it is or was before it was leaked and accidentally leaked. I'm sorry, but we were buying it. All the Pengala, all the bad, all whatever, we were buying it. We bought it. We bought it hook, line, and sinker. Bought it hook, line, and sinker. Think about it. Think about the propaganda. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the virus is not dangerous. I'm not saying that don't take care of yourself. I'm not saying none of that. Take care of yourself. It is the flu. I mean, the common cold, the flu, and now the coronavirus. That's it. All of them in the same family. And all of them can kill you if you don't take care of yourself. Common cold, the flu, and corona. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care of yourself, but they shoved masks in our face. Oh my God. And here's the propaganda about the mask and the mask and the mask, and they shoved it down your face and your throat. Mask. Wear 500 masks and you'll be safe. The efficacy of masks wasn't that great, or isn't great at all, but I digress. Now, please understand, again, quick disclaimer. If you wear a mask because you choose to wear a mask, that is your business. I have nothing against you. Wear your mask however long you want to wear it, wherever it is that you want to wear it. That is your prerogative, your business, your body, your choice, right? But when they forced it on people, that's where you draw the line. Oh, you can't go here if you don't wear the mask. You can't go there if you don't wear the mask. You can't go to work if you don't wear the mask. That was the propaganda. That was the thing that they put on the nightly news every day. And I know I veered off of J6 into this, but it just makes me think, follow me along this journey of propaganda that this government, this media has been throwing at us for so long. And it's now that it's beginning to come to fruition, and we're beginning to understand, and we're beginning to know that this government and our media are in cahoots, and they don't care about you and me. Bottom line. Bottom line. They don't care. They're going to tell you what to do, what they think is best for you. They're going to shove a mask in your face. They're going to tell you that you better wear it or else. And then they're going to force a vaccine on you that hasn't been fully proven. Again, I am not an anti-vaxxer. I took 2 vaccines. I draw the line there. That's it. I am not taking any boosters or anything like that. I took the first 2 vaccines. That's it. I work with the public, so I said I'm going to protect myself because I work with the public and I do not want to bring anything home. Just like I get the flu shot every year because I work with the public. And working with the public, you come across some nasty folk that don't know how to cover their face. Just put it that way. But they shoved this vaccine down your throat. They said, you better take it or else you're going to lose your job. And then there was this huge propaganda around the vaccine, this huge thing that they said that if you don't take the vaccine, then you hate your brother, you hate your sister, you hate your mother, you hate your grandmother, you're going to kill grandma. You see you see the propaganda that they threw at us, how they put this information out there for us, how they put it out there. Again, don't get me wrong, the pandemic was dangerous. I was telling somebody, we're not in a pandemic anymore. The pandemic is over. I don't care what the United States government is trying to, or President Biden and his administration is trying to implement and tell you that the pandemic is not over and that what's it called? We still have to be careful and this, that, and the third. Yes, we still have to be careful, but we're not in a pandemic. Pandemic is over. My opinion. If you feel that you're still in the pandemic, then you live your life as if you were in this pandemic and you continue to listen to Anthony Fauci. But people lost their jobs. There's still firefighters in New York City that still don't have a job because they are not vaccinated. Teachers lost their jobs because they didn't get vaccinated. We have a shortage of teachers as is. Children are suffering because of the lockdowns that we put them under, and now you have a shortage in teachers because they didn't get vaccinated. Nurses were let go. Governor Hochul in New York said that she would do it all over again, just like that. She would fire all the nurses that decided not to get vaccinated. She still hasn't hired a lot of them back. And she won't. Because she said she's going to stand on her laurels. And you have to get vaccinated because it's her job to protect people. No, it's not. It's not your job to protect people. Let people protect themselves. That's their job. I want to protect myself. It's like Governor Hochul is not going to come to my house if I go outside in 2-degree weather without a coat. She's not going to come running to me and say, wear a coat because I have to protect you. I have to protect you. And I want you to wear a coat because if you don't wear a coat, you're going to get sick. No, you're not. She's not going to do that. She could care less. It's my job to say, yo, it's cold outside. It's 2 degrees. Let me go throw on my coat. It's my job. That's how I protect myself. What's different about the vaccine? But no. The propaganda, the thing that they sold you, that they made you believe was that it was their way or the highway. Their way or the highway. You're going to kill grandma. For crying out loud, Mayor de Blasio in New York was giving away cheeseburgers for you to go and get the vaccine. How much more dumber does that get? You had cities giving away money for people to get the vaccine. Now we're beginning to see the consequences of the vaccine. And some people, not all. You're beginning to see consequences of an unproven vaccine. Yes, it was given to us in record time. But yet it was still an unproven vaccine that was not given to us with a choice. It was given to us forcibly, and it was propagandized to us as being the almighty savior of COVID. Go back to 2020, 2021. They even talk about it now. You still see commercials on COVID and on the vaccine. Make sure you get your vaccine. Make sure that you get your kids vaccinated. Go, you can still see it. This is the propaganda that I'm talking about. This is why I veered off into this. Because just as we're seeing what transpired on January 6th, we're seeing what transpired in 2020, 2021. People, wake up. They are trying to control you. They are trying to control you. Get free of their control. Stop listening to the little box. Listen, I'm not telling you that I'm 100% right. You probably disagree with everything I said. You probably find an error in everything that I said. That's your prerogative, as I said before. All we do here at the project is we plead that you do your own research, that you become free of the hold that they swear that they have on you. You're not a free thinker. You're not. You're a what we say thinker. You're going to kill grandma, you're going to kill grandma. Oh my God, I remember how people walked around with 3 masks on, and if you didn't have one on, they would curse you out. They would give you the dirty eye, the stink eye. I mean, if looks could kill, the whole 9 yards. They would walk away from you. They would snicker. I wasn't a big fan of the mask, as you can tell. As a matter of fact, I think I stopped wearing the mask back in early 2021. Like I just said, forget this. I'm not wearing it anymore. But again, that's my opinion on this propaganda, on what has transpired and how we're beginning to see it, and we're beginning to wake up to it, and we're seeing that the powers that be wanted to control you via these avenues. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Just wake up. Find out on your own. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying. Thank you Oh my goodness. Thank you once again for joining us on the Miranda Project. Check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on all our social media sites. Go to our website, the Miranda Project. That's projct.com. That's project without an E. Check us out there. You can find our catalog of things or of other shows. If you like our content, please click subscribe. You'll get our content straight as soon as we drop it. It costs you nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if you like our content, please, we ask you, just click subscribe, click follow, whatever it is. And as always, oh my God, it's like I can't talk towards the end of this thing. And as always, thank you so much for the 45 minutes that you have spent with us. If you have or you disagree with anything that we said, obviously go to our website and give us your feedback. We welcome all your feedback. Go to our Facebook page, give us your feedback. We welcome all our feedback or your feedback. Forget a little couple of expletives and, that's a whole different story. But we appreciate your feedback. As always, we love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. Till next time, God bless you all.